All right, so I think we good to go. I think we done got started. What's going on? It's the one and only Mr. Royale, the Harlem Soul Child, and we got my brother G Holla. Say what up to the people. You hear me or no? G, yo. Okay. See technical difficulties, man. Yo, trying, trying with this thing right here. G, you hear me? Yo, yo. All right, I see my mic is moving. Maybe he doing something. All right, well, this is pretty much an open discussion. Once I figure out how to actually look at the chat, I could probably answer questions. Till then, maybe I could talk about reparations. Um, as maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't know that Dr. Claude Anderson went, I think he presented his case to sue for reparations just recently. And I believe, hey, G, you hear me?
Okay, I'm back. We broke a little minute. I'm back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were saying what's going on. So pretty much, Dr. Claude went out and presented the case for reparations recently, and I guess whether he was denied or they didn't take him serious or something like that, right?
That's right.
And I don't mean to brush over it as if it's not worth the details, but I just I'm saying that because it's going to lead into something else as far as with Farrakhan actually spoke at the reparations conference recently. I believe they had it in California. I believe they had the reparations conference in California. I really wish I knew how to get to this chat. Um, and by him doing that, he spoke with Dr. Ron Daniels and all the other what you call it. So the people that represent our people and on that front with the reparations champion and that whole reparations movement, so forth and so on. My thing with this whole reparations conversation, right? Because this is something that I've been discussing for a minute. This is something that I jumped into the community to hope we could get some make some progress with it. I think we made some progress, but what I'm finding out is everybody actually think they can be the only one that do it. Like me, I don't look at it like that. I look at it like this. Like everybody has a piece to the puzzle. And Dr. Claude, the genius and the strategist that he is, by going in without the whole piece, like if you going in without my information, you losing. I can't go in without his information, and he can't go in without Farrakhan's information. So if once we all moving and he's moving and he's trying to move in without my information, like I have new information to help the movement. And I've been to the reparations conference last year that was up in Harlem with the same presenters, I believe IBW. And it's a great energy there, but at the same time, uh, I still feel like the ego thing of feeling like that one individual or that one group feel like they can be the saviors. I was offered the N Cobra position for I believe my region, and to have no idea how the contact for the person, like there was no real card and something like that. They was like, you would be great for the New York division, and I'm like, I would love to be a representative for the New York division for N Cobra. Um, because my main thing is to actually get people to have a unified voice and bring all the pieces together, because now we're in a position where everything and all the ideas that I was having and everybody had, now we pushed into a position where they're not, like it's almost like you got to almost restart, and you got a little with this 4 years coming up, it's going to be so tricky how money plays out, and when you hear Dr. Claude, being denied, reparations, I'm sure some people feel this disenchanted or heartbroken by something, by those type of things. And What do you think when you hear something like that?
Yeah, that's absolutely. I think what you said. I want to revisit something when you were
Mm,
saying about talked about unity and not having that ego, or not saying that he's egotistical, but you're right, coming in as a unit. Because even when they
mm,
go and occupy another space, I know because I know you did your military time. You have your diplomats, you have your ambassadors, you have your military heads, you have all these different functionalities that's coming in on one particular topic or movement. It's not just you send the president,
right.
and he just talks and then that's it. You're right, because even he will get rejected. You're right. You have to show that show of force, and that's what we're missing is that our military is the brothers that's in the street, and we
Mm,
can get most of them, not all of them. You just get a large enough number to move in one direction
mm,
and to be solid, like you're talking about. Then get some people like some ambassadors, like your Claude Wilsons, and your other great leaders who could come in and actually negotiate different, treaties, pretty much, because that's what we're dealing with, and build a better foundation from there. At that point, I definitely agree on it.
mm.
The part about reparations I find interesting because recently I was reading this article and it was talking about reparations have been paid to black people. How they're paying them, they're giving it to the
Mm.
athletes. The athletes are receiving the reparations.
He
Large,
said, he said the athletes, that's your reparations.
yes, they are. They,
That's
they say
funny, yo.
they say like we gave it to those Negroes, and because they don't want to give it to you, it's no longer our fault.
Uh,
Yeah,
that's
I believe that too. I believe that's the reason why some of these athletes gets paid and these other popular celebrities get paid that much because
mm,
that's the reparations right there.
wow.
Ask.
That's not fair. That's almost you know what I heard that the craziest thing I heard about reparations, which was actually somebody's plan, and I hear more people kind of like carrying on the plan of as far as like, are you familiar with a susu?
Susu, I'm not,
A
but I'm gonna look it
susu.
up.
All right. Yeah, yeah. If you look it up, a definite definition of it, but it's like this, like say like some of the Caribbean people or something like that. It's just something where if every paycheck, somebody everybody takes like a piece of their paycheck, put it in a pool, and give it to one person.
Oh,
Ever did something like that?
okay, okay.
Okay, so every paycheck that comes around, like maybe this week, you'll get extra money to your paycheck, and next week it'll be somebody else or whatever. Somebody was like, "Oh, we could do that, to make that as reparations." And I'm like, "Okay, genius. So whatever happened to did you find the definition or not? You ain't found that yet?
Not yet.
It's
How
like
do you spell that? Because I'm spelling it
susu
SUE. Is that right?
susu is I believe it will be SU something like that. It's
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm listening when you're saying like give each person part of the check
yeah.
to.
And just by doing that, just by doing that, somebody feels that that can be the equivalent of reparations when it doesn't make any sense. You have to work for your reparations that's you're owed. Pretty like reparations is something that's owed. You know,
That's right.
when if you're saying you're no longer at war with the people, you got what I'm saying, and then all of a sudden,
I do.
um, you get to a point where you say, okay, uh, in order for you to get reparations, I want you to go back to work and pool the money that I pay you for working again, and
That's
that'll be
right.
your reparations, paying yourself. And I'm like, that's
No,
so I done heard some crazy things as far as what people define as reparations, and and I just look at it like it could be something. It should be something that it should be something that uh it should be a collective opposed to we got to use the information from that go all the way back from to the Queen Mother Moors, when she rallied and got over 1 million signatures, thing was like, okay, you gotta use the fact that she got 1 million signatures, and if everybody has the blueprint, oh, just Dr. Khalid got the information and they killed him, or Dr. Claude has the information and he's getting old, or this one
That's right.
person or that one person. I think, to me personally, I think the more people that have the information as a collective, um, it would make more sense, for us to get better results, opposed to each individual or each everyone has these small groups that, once in a blue present their case, and for some reason, they get denied because they're missing a major piece that the other group has. It keeps happening over and over again.
I agree. I think so
Yeah.
too. Strength, like you say, strength is in numbers. And even when you look at like what they're doing over in the so-called Middle East,
Mhm.
those people, all that time they were fighting against each other. Now they've linked up, and America
Mhm.
has to come to the table.
Right.
There is no more avoiding them. So you're absolutely right. We all need to our best needs to sit down and go to the table, come up
Why
with a
not?
plan.
Why not?
Even
Our
if the
best,
plan
all our
changes
best.
10,000 times over, all of our best need to get
Ben,
together.
we should have been. I think we should already be at a point where we could have. We should be figuring out distribution already. Where the money's going. To me personally, I think if we would have took advantage of the internet and making things go viral, we could have did that. But now we still, it's like we back to square one with like Dr. Claude said. Dr. Claude was like, damn, you still have 1% or something. It's like something like that. So it's when you hear those numbers and then you actually look at the reality and you're like, wow. And then you see the decision making, like the prior show, people making the same poor decisions over and over and over again, and then it's no wonder why, the results are the same results. um I'm not sure if you're familiar with and ask not what you could do for your what your country could
Country.
do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Uh-huh.
that came from Queen Mother Moore and Martin Luther King presenting her presenting JFK the reparations signatures, and he brushed them off and told him, "Hey, ask not." That's where that statement came from. Now, as he continued on with his presidency, and he was realizing that Lyndon B. Johnson, was not giving him no leeway to put past little things that he wanted to do. He, invited Martin Luther King and the Queen Mother Moore reparations conversation back. Um, and when he invited him back, and he began to present that case, Lyndon B. Johnson and the rest of his uh, and the rest of his people in Congress and Senate, they put it where, okay, well, if you make it a civil rights conversation, so once they made it a civil rights conversation, it moved away from the reparations and they piled it all together. So they said, okay, look, reparations is going to be in here and we're going to do it next. So that's why um at the end of Martin Luther King's unfortunate short life, right, you see his conversation got a little more aggressive because he thought that they actually was going to do it, because of uh, Lyndon Johnson had promised it, and then by Lyndon Johnson passing the civil rights, he felt confident that he would pass it, and then all of a sudden, he nobody was taking his phone calls anymore. So once he realized he wasn't going to pass the reparations part of this bill, excuse me, once he realized that, that's where you hear him sounding almost like sounding like Malcolm X. That's where you hear Martin Luther King almost sounding like Malcolm X. And it's it's something where I think that we could have or we should, take you know each experience and compile it, and and we again, I think we could have got a lot further than what we got so far. And with things about to go cyber and things, we about to get into what you call cyberism. Cyberism, the digital money's fake already. So to me,
That's
that's
right.
why I'm like, it's like money's fake. So there's no big like, oh, we don't have the budget. Yes, we do, because money's fake. So it's like you can easily be like, okay, money for you, money for you, money for you. It's not really it's not, to me, it's not that complicated. Um, so
It's not.
but as cyberism come in and those RFID chips and all of these things come into play, and your information is your value, is what's making things valuable. So um, I think it's easier to create a reparation situation. I think it's easy. There's enough land in the U.S. that's unoccupied. Whether they're going to do some, the lower states or however, when they start distributing it before. Now it's a conversation where, with Trump coming in office, I it, I don't know how to start that conversation with Trump in office, honestly, because I think we should have did it with Obama in office. Because you know, if things would have got extreme, it would have been laid out. Everybody would have had their chances to be extreme at that point because they would have got all the way extreme. With Trump in office, it's too easy to create a labyrinth for people to try to get to the source of the conversation, but then you'll get tripped up by so many different, a whirlwind of God knows what. Nobody knows what to expect from his administration because he's a wild card. So it just would that's why I just wish we would have got that off, within the Obama administration. So I don't want to go on too long about it, but I'm not sure. Did you hear about Obama passing some type of bill? Passing some type of bill where I think he might have delayed what you call a matrix. Is because in the Obamacare RFID was slid up in there. That was something that was like a little thing that he had in there where you know people was getting coverage, but RFID chips was also in there. So he just recently passed a bill where I think he might have, saved his legacy again, by walking away, from a third term, and by passing this latest bill. Just for those who are not familiar, which is it the Cure Act? I gotta get the information for
I'll
sure.
look it up. I'll look it
Um,
up. I'll look it up.
but what the bill does, it makes you like, if anybody's familiar with the RFID, when people say, the market of beast, so forth and so on, brother. Let me see what this thing is out. Wear glasses. It's like, good brother. All right, what's up, family? Damn, Quentin Miller. Is that Quentin? I'm like reading his name, bro. Barbie, I look crazy. What's up, family? So what the bill actually does is it prevents any company from just putting RFID chipping in anybody without them volunteering. All right. So and it'll be called research, right?
Okay.
So the thing is, as technology advances with the phones and all of this, you ever just load an app in your phone and you just press OK?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
We
right.
all
So
do. We don't read that
now,
disclaimer.
yeah. So now, as we go into cyberism, you know, a lot of these things are going to just hit you with the we'll just press OK, and I think it's going to be really important for our generation to translate that to the next coming generations, and some of the elders that might be left over in those years to come, that be aware about pressing that OK button, because once you qualify yourself to be researched on, that's when you could get the RFID chip put in you. And what that RFID chip can be used for, apart from tracking, GPS tracking, and
Hmm.
they can also
Okay.
it can also
Yeah, I'm
manipulate.
reading about what you're saying. They're
Mhm,
saying that you're right. They're not going to put it in there.
mhm.
Anytime they tell you it's something is healthcare law. Uh, mhm.
Say that one more time.
I was gonna read to you the article under Snopes.com.
Mm,
It's saying that Obamacare law requires an RFID chip, as you said, implanted,
mm,
and all of us. Are you ready to have the chip implanted by 3/23/2013 is your date? It said
mm,
the new healthcare Obamacare law requires the chip to be implanted in all of us. The chip will not only contain your personal information, but tracking capability, which can be linked to your bank account.
right.
And to get this, page 10,000 or 1,004 of the new law dictating the timing of this chip reads, I quote, not later than 36 months after the date of enactment. It is now
Mm,
law of the land by March 23rd, 2013. We will require that the RFID chip underneath the skin in this chip will link to our bank accounts as well as our personal records accounts. But a lot of people are reporting that it's untrue. And just briefly, right quick, seems some people are getting more than they bargained for this new healthcare bill. Obama healthcare is under the section 2521, page 1000, will establish a national medical device registry. What does that mean exactly? We'll go more into details. But yes, they're claiming that it's false, but with this government, you know anything is possible.
right. And that but him recently with the new bill that he had just passed, with him recently saying that he's forcing the companies um to get the people to volunteer for research, meaning they can't force it on you. Whereas before with Obamacare, they was able to. It was slick. They was just going to be able to just put it on you, right, and just start just be able to enact it. So what he did before, obviously leaving office and everything that was done and all the things that was said, I'm glad that he's not making it easy for them to just do us dirty and to do our children dirty. you know, because maybe some people, might take it light, like when they were saying with the information, if you familiar with the Constitution, Fourth Amendment, saying search and seizures are illegal, so when if you're familiar with that, then you got to understand you have a right to privacy, right? So
That's right.
so when you understand what's going on with the NSA and you understand what's going on with those type of situations, then you got to realize, like, when people say, well, if you are familiar with the phone records being hacked from AT&T, I believe T-Mobile at one point, Sprint, the Yahoos, and all of that. Now,
Giving it right out.
when they was doing it, it was like, it's not a big thing, man. It's just your phone, right? But
Right. That's
now
right.
your phone is everything. Your phone houses all your information. So here they already set up a system where they can continue to hack your phone, right? But your phone is your computer,
That's
your
right.
television, your GPS. Your phone is everything. So so look
That's
how
right.
slick that was. It was a real slick way to do it, and the phones are getting more sophisticated and becoming, and more people are relying on the smartphone technology. Um, and as more things get integrated into these systems, it's like they're trying to make it cooler and more appealing, to use. So
No, you're right.
so I'm just saying, like, as far as the way the way the system is going, as far as cyberism, and Obama passing this last bill, this last little act, delaying it was a beautiful thing. The only thing is, like, financially, as we move into cyberism,
That's right.
as we move into that, and with the digital money and everything just appearing and disappearing and breaking the line, and hacking, and the EMTs and all of these different things, like, um the discussion of reparations will get a lot more trickier. That's again why I wish that we would have had that squared away during those terms, because now at this point, we going into fast forward into cyberism, and although it might have been delayed, the trickiness of these contracts of you know, do you agree to the terms of us, you know, seeing your baby pictures and knowing this and knowing da 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 da, da, and people press okay, and then
Yeah,
you press okay, and next thing you know, you done volunteered, you know, and or you volunteered to be researched, and once you volunteer for that, that's when they say the RFID chip. So that's just some extra information for the family. So, you know, so you know, as more people get become aware to the discussion and know what's going on as far as how to pick up the torch, and maybe another approach, because the approach that I have for reparations was really simple. With everybody on their platforms, you know, my live is not the livest right this second, but you got, you know,
that's
other
okay.
people, you know, but you got other people who have explosive numbers and that are tangible in the community. And my thing was like, certain things all we had to do was get it to them. So all we had to do was get them to, you know, to drill a reparations conversation, get everybody drilling a reparations conversation, tell their people to go to the White House. It was like whitehouse.com, and somebody had started a petition, uh, and and we could have all just got the numbers to 100,000, and then the case would have been presented to the White House properly. But instead, you get everybody trying to do it individually, and it looks sloppy and it looks inconsistent with the numbers, because the guy who somebody has sent me the White House petition 2 days before it was supposed to expire, saying give this to your people, and I'm like, it's
Wow.
2 days, man. Like, you got to give me more. And it was like he gave it to me like the end of October. And it's not that I don't, I don't don't want to share it or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, with 2 days time and you need 100,000 signatures and we only at 500. It's like,
You got a
you know what I'm saying?
long
Like,
way to go.
yeah, it's like, yeah, that's a long way to, that's a lot of sending, you know.
Yeah.
Because it ain't foolishness. If it was foolishness, trust,
Oh,
people
yeah,
had Harambe petitions. People had all
for
type of
real.
foolish petitions that had all types of numbers. But reparations, man, you gotta be, you gotta be fully focused, and everybody, um, everybody got to be fully focused, to even begin to pass around a petition to be taken serious or whatever. So it's just unfortunate that it was a miss. I think it was a huge opportunity that we lost out on. And again, uh, maybe somebody, or later on, something, I'll have an epiphany on how to restart that conversation. But for right now, as far as the reparations, it's unfortunate Dr. Claude exhausted most of his resources, and was recently denied. And Farrakhan, went in on the reparations discussion, and the IBW with Dr. Ron Daniels, and all the great men and women that participated in the reparations discussion recently. But I still feel that we need more cooperation from not only the elders, but for the youth. And I really wish, I'm really hoping that maybe within the next discussions, we could that the voice would be a lot more united, and people would be more open to listen, because I don't want people to think, oh, well, you just throw away a plan is. You just throw away what Ali Muhammad is talking about. You just throw away what Royale is talking about. You just throw away. No, no, no. You use it all together, and that's the way that we would create uh, the results that we need to meet personally.
No, I agree. I agree with everything you just said. I want to add in too, when you was talking about the RFID chips. Do you know, since I think it was like early 2000s, the government has been taking babies' DNAs without mothers even knowledge of it. They're storing DNAs into like this big storage bank, and that will go right along with the RFIDs, because they don't even need you
Mm,
to get it to implant it. You can literally take somebody's DNA and you can learn their pattern from it, because you're not going to deviate from what's inside of you, because you're born that way. That's just the way that you are. So they've been doing that since the early 2000s. And what are they doing with your DNA? And why do you have my DNA?
mm. Yeah, the fingerprints with the phone collect with the phones, that's kind of slick too, though. They
Yeah.
killing them with because that's a slick way to get fingerprints. You
And
know,
retina scan. Hmm.
yeah, biometrics,
Yeah.
biometrics. You know, they think they slick with that right there. They think they real slick with that.
Hmm.
They think they slick with that because again, you see how that ties back into the phones.
Yeah, it
You
does.
see how that ties right back. It ties right back into the phones, and it makes it, you know, um, like with these Cinderella phones that are in
Yeah,
a in a heartbeat. You know, if you sneeze on it too hard,
that's right.
you know, your thumbprint or your whatever your first finger or whatever the case is. Like, you know, I don't have one of those phones, but I know a lot of people do have those phones where, you know, in order for you to turn it on, you got to use your fingerprint.
Or
Now
your
that goes
eye.
into the retina scan. I didn't even I don't I'm not even familiar with that. One if they got that on the phones already. Oh,
They do. They have it on them.
they
Yes,
do.
they have. Do you know,
Mm,
like, when you look at your phone, like sometimes the light is off and then you look at it, then it's on.
got you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's part of that. That's reading your eye too. Yeah, people think, oh, it's just cool. It's
Mm,
going into a database somewhere. It's not just staying in your phone. And you know what's crazy? If they're collecting your DNA, because you talked about cybernism. So every time I hear that word, I hear man, machine, Terminator, Matrix, whatever you want to come up with. That's
yes.
the society that we're going. Who's to say, like, if someone is killed, now these people have your DNA, even if they're not nefarious, let's say if somebody has access to your DNA, what would stop them from doing you like in the movie The Net that came out back in the day with Sandra Bullock? They literally have the power. If you have nobody else to verify who you are, they can change you into a whole nother person. They got your
Mm,
DNA right there.
mm,
They can blame you for a crime. What could you do? Minority Report. What could you do? They're
mm,
like, well, we got your fingerprints. You're like, how did you get that? How did you get how did you get my hair follicles? They can
mm,
literally grow whatever they want and plant it on the scene.
mm. Yeah, that's the greatest fear for me is like, people being framed for things that, that they didn't do. That's where that's why I'm like, paying attention to, to the reality that we actually going into, opposed to what, the fantasy that people may want. I'm like, the reality is everything is going more and more digital. Everything is going more and more digital. Um, and you're gonna have you're gonna think about the cell phone in the car are 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 damn near the main two tools that are gonna be pretty much like almost like a second part of your biology. You got what I'm saying? Because the
That's right.
car is going to become the computer, and it's more and more is becoming the computer because most people are in their cars, whether for hours and hours of the day. And now they're going to do with this whole satellite driven cars,
That's
satellite
right.
driven cars, and with the satellite driven cars, hey, that's going to be a bunch of more people that's going to be out of work as far as no traffic tickets.
Yeah. Okay.
um, no traffic tickets because they're gonna be self parking, self driving, and all of these. Uh, and the scary thing about it is until we actually get some uh, dignity, integrity, and morale, raise the ethics of the people that's in office and that's in charge of these things. That's not a good. It's not a good path to be on right now because you know you look at these people that's in charge right now, they taking advantage of the children, with the pedophilia and all of these ridiculous things, and look at with the water, the oil spills, and all. They still doing things as if they don't have the technology to fix some of the things that's happening, right? So
That's right.
that's why I'm like, at this point, we have all the opportunity to do better, from start with ourselves and our own houses, which dominoes into the community, which dominoes into the politics and the politicians, which comes back on us, right? Um,
No, you're right. I agree.
so, so that's why it's like, every little thing counts. My discussion for the past few years was reparations this, reparations that. I try to use the fact that I won my child support case, and it was the worst kind of case that anybody could bring up. But I was told no, black people don't win in court, and we can't win in court. And again, I try to use myself as an example to show people like, no, you just have to, the same effort that you put into doing the wrong thing, if you put that into doing the right thing, you'll get the right results. I put, and although they was forging signatures and using coercion and their court officers to threaten and so forth and so on, and lying and all of these, people being deceptive, the storm and made it through and was able to win my case, right? And I believe as a people, we could have did the same thing with reparations. So now it's like, damn, we're pushed into a situation that we don't really fully grasp how vast cyberism with the dark web and everything. We don't really have they don't even have a grasp on the dark web, right? Because right. You got China and Russia that, that's playing games, and the US is like second or third when it comes to these computers. But still in all, they still have this RFID plan. So with the money going digital and everything going digital, the reparations conversation gets a lot more tricky to have. So I'm thinking like for right now, I don't want to say, I'm going to stop, the reparations push, but I would just say like, well, I think we might have to focus on things like our food and our water, and things like that. Things that food, water, air, things that you're affected by every day, to get the fast results with those, because we blew the opportunity that we did have. So right now, the only thing that as far as just as solutions, I'm just thinking the only thing that we can do is maybe try to help fix the mindset of the people, because we're all eating the same poisons, and in turn, like the other video, that's how you get people on a cycle making poor decisions. So in order to break the cycle of people making poor decisions, to me personally, I think it starts with a better diet and a healthier home. In turn, you won't do certain things in the community because you was raised properly, or you're eating, or your mind is healthy. But as far as the reparations, it's just until we can get everybody on the same page and maybe come up with another solution, for another solution on how to initiate and get the results that we need. Because again, you take all of our information, you take my information, you take Dr. Claude's information, you take everybody's information, we have a serious powwow. But I don't think we could continue on operating separately.
No, I agree. You're absolutely right. I agree. Strength is in numbers. Come unified. When even nature hits you at strength, whether it be a hurricane, a tsunami, an earthquake, it comes with force, and it comes to change. It cares nothing about your feelings or your thoughts. So you're right. We need to be like nature. We need to form that wall of water, so to speak. And when we come, we just need to
that's right,
move everything out the way. We apologize. I like what someone said. They was like, it's better to ask for apology than permission. We get off of the asking for permission and look for apologies later. Feelings get hurt. Mine, yours, whoever. It's for the greater good.
Right.
So I agree with you.
Right. That's right.
I definitely agree.
That's right. So just wrapping up the show. Again, I appreciate my brother G Holla coming on, and sharing some words and sharing the energy. And again, salute to all the family that tuned in while we was live, and step by step, I'll continue to figure this out as far as this going live and all of this other stuff. But till then, it's just a discussion just to have, and with a little bit of spare time for the family, for the people. Any parting words that you have that you want to share with the family?
Family, I just want to tell you, man, y'all keep researching, keep gaining knowledge, keep cultivating your wisdom, never stop. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Get away from that faucet water if you're drinking it, that bottled water. Get on some alkaline water. Make sure you bathe in alkaline water too as well, because it doesn't make sense to drink healthy and eat healthy and still bathe in the same toxic water. You don't have to live in Flint, Michigan. All this water is toxic. You can literally take it and put it in a cup and let it sit out. You'll see all the mold spores and all kind of things that come up out of it. Or you can get like certain testing kits. So I say
Mm,
this to say this: make sure you eat healthy. If you can, do your best. Make sure you drink everything healthy. I know we love the sodas and the juices. I do. I used to drink that stuff too.
mm,
Stop drinking it. Stay away from it. That stuff really does affect your mind, because they say you are what you eat and what you drink. So
mm.
as you already know, what you put into your body, that's what you become. You put all this high fructose sugar, salt, man-made potassium, that stuff inside in the same container for like a week or two, and open it up and see what kind of like mold and all kind of chemicals come in there. That's what you're putting into your body.
That's right.
It's the same thing. You're not washing it away. Your organs need at least 75% water in them to function properly. You need oxygen to function at a higher quality. Sometimes when we're reading, we think we got ADD and all these other things. It is because the things you're putting in your body is harming you and keeping you from attaining a higher level of consciousness. So definitely eat right, man. Drink right. Be happy if you can. Stay away from drama if you can. You don't need it. You got other things to participate in.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about the next man. If somebody next to you got the J's on, they driving the Bentley, whatever. Focus on what makes you happy.
That's
Do
right.
what makes you happy. Love your family. Love the people that are around you. You can't change the world. Stop focusing on the world. Only trying to change the world will put you in a state of depression. It really will. Because you want to see your people do better. Everybody just ain't on the same level. And just like in the movie The Matrix, like Morpheus was telling Neo, the
Mm,
more was telling the neophytes.
mm, mm,
People don't want to wake up. Stop trying to wake them up. You see it all day. People arguing on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all these different debates, which is good for certain people. Man, stay away from all that. You just
mm.
attain knowledge yourself for you and your household. Even if it's your children. If your children or your grandmother, your brother, whoever, your uncle is not listening to you, stop trying to wake the dead up. They want to stay asleep, let them stay asleep. I know you love them. I love mine too. But some of them you just can't talk to. And that's just my little spiel.
Nah. You actually, yo, listen. For it to be the end of this, yeah, like you done reignited, some pieces of conversation because you done said like, hey, listen, when you said the change, now listen, people, long as people understand this, not all change is good change. You got what I'm saying? A lot of people are saying they want change and doing the wrong thing, so they're getting change. It's just a change for the worse. You got it. A lot of people are getting a change that they getting changed, but it's a change for the worse because if you keep doing the wrong thing, you're going to get the change that you're looking for. Um, when you were saying, look, talking to some people and trying to talking to the dead. Hey, listen, I had a situation where I was telling my uncle most of my life, from when I was maybe like 10 years old all the way up to not smoke cigarettes, and uh, till he was on his deathbed is where he said I was right. You understand? He was like, "Damn, you was right. I should have listened to you. What do I do now?" He was on his deathbed, asking me, What do you do now?" And to me, that's why I actually made this record. The killing got to stop, right? Because tobacco, the tobacco related deaths could have been avoided. So that's just a part of that discussion. But at the same time, with him, when you see your own family member wait to the last minute to say, "Oh, well, you was right. I should have listened." I just don't. I just try to give anybody else a chance. That's why personally sometimes I overreach myself and do, and maybe stay a little longer to tell somebody to do the right thing because I seen just my uncle's face, and it was just a sad thing. You know what I'm saying? It just was a sad thing that, that we hear all the time. People be on a deathbed like, oh man, I should have listened. You know, um, so again, like you said, talking to the dead is not fun at all. That's not something that you can take lightly. It's not something that you could just talking to the people and trying to enlighten people. It's not an easy thing. It's a full-time situation. Even if you're doing it part-time, even if you taking some free time to do it or whatever. So make the world a better place when you can. I definitely am. Um, Salute to Queen J. I know she was saying that she about as far as with the police, speaking with the police, not giving them all your information. That's a fact. It's like you don't want to you want to try to stay as quiet as possible, as silent as possible. Maybe we could do a full show on that, and speak on that real soon. And with the interaction with the police and with the military and how they was trying to turn that into a situation. So that's a full discussion that we could definitely get into. And I'm not sure if there's anything else that we could do before we kind of wrap this show up. Um, yeah. So let me try to check this thing.
No,
Try to
no,
check.
I'm with you. When it
Try to.
comes to the police, I like to tell people this too. Find the best solution to get yourself out of a bad situation, no matter
Mm,
what that may be. Sometimes you may have to give up your license. I know you don't want to. I know you don't, but sometimes you got to look at the odds, man. Are you going to leave that situation safe? But if you're ready to do whatever, then you live your destiny. But try your best to get yourself out of a bad situation. Not even just with the police, with anything. Even in your situation where you feel like you got to fight for your life with somebody on the street. Make wise decisions that won't cost you later, whether it be your time, your freedom, or your pocket. Always
right.
use your brain. Don't be afraid to use your mind. Use your brain. Use your soul. Sometimes your soul is telling you. If your soul is telling you not to go somewhere, listen to it. Don't wait. It probably will keep you out of certain situations. I know, like for myself, if I get a feeling, I just don't go. It ain't because I'm scared. I'm not scared. I just don't go because I'm thinking, okay, what is the odds versus this happen? So that's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying to
Mhm.
be a coward and run and all that, but just use your brain, use
Nah,
your
that's a
mind.
fact, man. Nah, you know what? You not ain't nah. Just doing the right thing is nothing cowardice about doing the right thing. That's what the whole other discussion was about. That a lot of people make poor decisions because of their ego. So in order to stay healthy and in order to stay focused and in order to get the progress that we need, a lot more people need to smarten up. So any chance we get, to give some information or get put a little bug in somebody's ear, maybe spark some energy for them. That's what we got to do. You know, so it ain't nothing cowardice about doing the right thing. Again, I just want to stress to anybody no matter how old you are, how young you are, um, that that doing the right thing is actually cool. More people do the right thing and have some integrity and disciplines. Don't play towards your ego. You could throw it. People throw their entire lives away because of their ego. So I think we had a good show. And again, Queen J, thank you for chopping it up and with us. And how about that? Let me turn this thing. But and but yeah, thanks for everybody who tuned in and watched live. And if you're watching it and we're not live, share your comments, say something, talk to us. If you got a conversation that you think that we should be a topic that you think that we should be dealing with or talking about, let's do that. Maybe we can as I get some more experience with this thing, maybe we'll have some more uh, uh, better shows or whatever the case is. But I think we did okay. I think I did okay this time.
Nah, you did great, bro. You did
But
great. Everything is excellent.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Again, salute to the family. Hey, listen, my brother Hala G, thank you for joining me. G Hala, let them know your blog talk and everything.
Oh, okay. You can find me at gholla.com. That's GEHOLLA.com. You can follow me at Gholla Radio. That's GHOLLARADIO.com. And also fmgmedia.net. That's my photography site. My gholla.com is where you can find like certain celebrity news. My Gholla Radio, you can find like certain celebrity interviews by way of podcast or internet. Got Mr. Rawyal on there too, going through an interview, talk about his life. Make sure you check that out as well. And I just wish everybody peace and prosperity and whatever that you're trying to attain. And just be happy in your life, even if you have nothing. I know it sounds crazy. Just be happy and move forward in life. Don't worry about your past so much. I know that pain is because you're going to take it everywhere you go. I do understand that. But we have to learn to deal with our scars, whether they be emotionally or physically, and you will make it. Just keep your head to the sky.
That's right. And again, the one and only Mr. Rawyal, the Harlem Soul Child, Rothschild Radio. My man G Holla, this is the live show, and I probably start, even though every show I keep saying it, I'm gonna put it on the other channel. so I don't damage the integrity of this show, with my horrible numbers on my live. But either way, like you said, Queen, I keep them coming. Queen J, I keep them coming, and the more I do, the better I get, and the better results. But either way, there's a lot of great information in all the shows. Please share it. Please comment. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you are, thank you, and thank you, and thank you again. And G, thank you. And everybody in the chat, thank you, and everybody who comments, thank you. And to the next time, man, what we got coming up next, man? I think I'm gonna put up this conversation next. The conversation with how my decision with Def Jam and Kevin Lyles dominoed into Kanye West's career, to help Kanye West's career. I probably put that up before I put up my music or whatever. So or matter of fact, I think we might even do the Peter Guns one. How about that one?
Yeah,
Do the Peter Guns one. Yeah. All right. So yeah, put up the Peter Guns and then I do mine or whatever. So, so I'm gonna put up G's interview next. And then we take it from there. And then, next time we go live, tune in. Thank you.
No doubt. Peace.
See you next time. Peace.